Unsigned, local artists, unsigned artists. Music you may have never heard before. Music you'll want to hear again. All right here on the Freeza Block Show.
Welcome in. It is the Freeza Block Show. So very happy to have everybody listening in and alongside. We're running a little bit late, but we are here just like always. Every Thursday we bring them on in. We're picking them off one by one. All the great music right here in the Mile High. And today we have the Symbols, you guys. Awesome.
Live, local, and loud.
That was my favorite.
Round of applause. Indeed.
All right.
See the camera there?
Glad to be here.
Hey, yeah.
Good to see you guys. Well, I can't really see you, but
We're here. We are here. And again, it is a Freeza Block Show. And you guys took the drive all the way down from Colorado or from Fort Collins, right?
That's right.
And
We sure did.
Thank you guys so much, because you know how it is with the traffic. You know, anytime there's any weather at all, bam, it slows down to 25 miles an hour. So thank you guys so much for being on in here. And again, for the folks who don't know, I love this first question because a lot of people don't know. What kind of music do you guys play? And you know, let's talk about the Symbols.
Oh, we play spiritual porn rock.
spiritual porn rock.
Good for the soul and body.
There we go. Yes, indeed. And of course, that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, indeed, but we like it, man, indeed. And it was the coolest thing. I had never heard of you guys. I was at a show on South Broadway, and the thing kind of ended a little bit early. And so we walked down the street and saw you down there at Moe's, and wow, you guys were just killing it. When we got there, it was just amazing, and I knew I had to have you guys on the show. So,
Well, thank you.
That's good stuff, indeed. It is Mersol and Jasco, right?
That's right.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Awesome stuff, man. And of course, the Symbols. You know, that's a tough name to kind of deal with all the time. The Symbols, you know, because I'm sure there's like 5 or 6 or 7 other symbols out there. You know, the British symbols and the Chinese symbols.
The kind of symbols that you hit.
No, but tell us a little bit about that name. I mean, was it that simple to just kind of come up with that, or would it take days, months, or
Well,
weeks, or?
Took about 5
The best
seconds.
guitar player in my little town of Fort Collins said, "You want to start a band?" And I said, "Holy moly, a band that epic, I'd have to call the Symbols." And the rest is history.
The rest is history, man. Good stuff. It's Mersol and Jasco. They are the Symbols. And again, they say that it's I just call it great blues music, but there's a little bit of a twist to it.
Yeah, it's a mix of blues, funk, rock, all kind of mixed together
No
there.
doubt about it, man. Did you guys get together a long time ago, or did you guys kind of, you know, how'd you form the Symbols?
It was about 5 or 6 years ago. I was doing a kind of a gypsy jazz instrumental band, which is a lot different than what this is. And Mare came into one of our rehearsals and says, "I can sing all those songs." And I didn't believe her. So I said, "Sure you can. There's a mic. Go for it."
So
And she could.
Were you guys old friends then?
No, we just met. That's how we met. Yeah.
I love it. I love it, man. I love when a group gets organically thrown together. Then sometimes, you know, where we get a lot of is the internet deal. You know, God, I hurt my brain. The Craigslist, Willie. You know,
The Craig.
right.
You know, I can tell you stories, but that's for another time.
another time and another place. Indeed, it is the Symbols. And again, you guys have been putting out lots and lots of music. You've been doing it for a while, and I love that you guys have gotten a lot of like traction professionally from some major professional folks that really want to put you guys out there. Let's talk a little bit about some of that, if you could.
Well, it's really cool. You know, next week we're going to go to Kansas City, Missouri, and we're opening for there's a mega blues singer, female bass player star named Danielle Nicole, and she just released an album that hit #1 on Billboard for the blues, and she sold out the show, and we're going to open for her in Kansas City, and then you know this summer I have the pleasure of recording and writing a song with Jeff Lorber, who just won the Grammy for the instrumental music.
Nice,
year.
and that's awesome. That is some big time names and big time deals, man. And just are you guys just doing that just because you're grinding so much and people are kind of paying attention to the talent and the goodness that comes from you guys?
Well, what you do is you just get up and you work on it all day. You work on the music, you work on the music biz, and just do it and do it. And if people take notice, they do. If they don't, you get up and work on it tomorrow. And
We just, we just do it for the love of it. But we make a living.
Once you get addicted to doing music, that's what you do.
Well, and that's the best part about it. A lot of it, you guys aren't doing it. I mean, it's a nice byproduct to be making money from it, but I could tell that's not the very number one thing. The number one thing is the soul, the love, and just how you feel about bringing that music out and letting people know about that music indeed.
Right. Yep.
Totes.
No doubt about it. You guys have the CD Smile. Now, when did that come on out?
That's about maybe 2.5 years ago.
2.5 years ago. Wow. And that's, like I said, it's a grind, man. You guys have, all these songs are like a couple of years old, but you guys have been touring and you guys don't just tour like in Colorado either. Like you said, you're doing this Kansas City deal and you're going to fill up Arrowhead Stadium from what I hear. So. Indeed. Now, that's tell the folks where you are going to be just in case they are, cruising out there to Kansas City and, hey.
That'll be at Knuckleheads. But for Denver listeners, I want everybody to know that we're going to be at the Toad Tavern in Denver on Saturday this weekend.
There we go.
So if you want to kiss us goodbye or whatever.
There we go. Nice stuff. Well, we've held on for almost maybe 5-6 minutes before we've had to play anything. So if you guys would like to play something, we could do that, or we could play a song off of the Smile CD. I'll let you guys decide, and then we'll just keep on rolling.
Let's play a song off the Smile CD to start with.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Okay, now I'm
Mind reader.
I'm going to make Mersol pick the song now too. So. Because it's just like that here on the Freeza Block Show.
How about Balloon?
All right.
Balloon, yeah.
Track 7.
Track 7. This is Balloon off of the Symbols CD. Make sure to go to their Facebook page, and from there you can get to their website. Great website, by the way. You guys have a great webmaster. But
Thank
from
you.
there, you guys can get the CD, you can get the music, the merch, all the great stuff. And hey, without any further ado, this song is called Balloon. We have the Symbols in the Freeza Block.
I'm gonna die 27. I am already on my way. I see the clouds, they're all around. You can't bring me down today. I want to be a balloon, flying up to the top, getting higher and higher till the day that I drop. I want to be a balloon, flying up to the moon. I want you to notice when I enter the room. I see balloons. I see balloons. Maybe I will get to heaven if I keep being in this high. If I keep it up, I don't come down, then perhaps I'll never die. I want to be a balloon, flying up to the top, and higher and higher till the day that I pop. I want to be a balloon, flying up to the moon. I want you to notice when I enter the room. I see balloons. I see balloons. I want to be a balloon, flying up to the top, getting higher and higher till the day that I drop. I want to be a balloon flying up to the moon. I want you to notice when I enter the room. I want to be a balloon flying up to the top, getting higher and higher till the day that I drop. I want to be a balloon, fly me up to the moon. I want you to notice when I enter the room. I say balloon, I say balloon, I say balloon, I say balloon. Can't you see, I'm a balloon, baby. Alright, bye play with the bye play with the bye play with the bye play.
Yes, indeed. Merch Ball and Jasco, they together are, what's that name again? The Symbols. That's right. They are the Symbols. Kick-ass music, blues style sounding music. What do you call it again?
Spiritual porn rock.
Oh, yeah, I love it. And I'm sure everybody
sounds-
that's listening to it is feeling it right now. Yes, indeed. So don't wreck the car if you're driving. So, why blues though? Why don't you guys, what is it with you guys that you wanted to play this style of music? Because sometimes, it just goes all different directions.
That's a really great question. You see, about 5 or 6 years ago when I met Jasco, he was pretty much a blues guitar player, but he wanted to go the route of Jeff Beck and be more rock and roll. And he was a rock and roll guy too at one point, but he had this blues band that he started called Blind Dog Smokin', and they toured domestically and abroad, across the United States and Europe and the Middle East and parts of Asia. So blues was kind of like where we started with this, and then it kind of evolved into this thing of its own.
Yeah, I played a lot of blues before I was in this band, and one of the things about blues is I feel that it's like the center hub of American music.
Truly.
If you go off into rock and roll or jazz or country, there's all some blues influence, so anyone that's a player out there, if you play a little blues, it'll help whatever other style that you're playing, or you'll hear those influences once you become aware of it.
It's like the base of, like you said, all of, rock, where it comes from. It's just it's deep down in you guys, right? I mean, that just comes out. I mean, let's talk a little bit about the writing a little bit. We have the Symbols in the studio, by the way. Check them out on Facebook and their website as well. But tell us a little bit. I mean, does it start off with like a little riff or some stuff like that, or maybe you come with a box of lyrics and then you want to write around it, or how does it kind of work with you guys? I
write like an entire song and then I just present it. But sometimes he'll write an entire song and present it to me. That's typically how we work.
Yeah, Mary's the gifted songwriter and I'm the workhorse songwriter. So she'll write, 7 songs a week and I'll write 1 song a month, maybe. It might take a lot longer. But what we do is we both influence each other's songs, so a lot of things that she'll write will be just like a piano vocal type thing. And then I'll take and say, okay, how can we arrange this for a rock band with drums and guitar and bass? And then we might try a song several different ways until it gets its final form.
Do you guys have just a backlog of songs though? Like, this
oh yeah,
we have here, Smile, has like 13, 14 songs on it. And from looking at you guys, I could just tell it probably could have been a 22-song CD, right?
Speaking of me, I'm extremely prolific, and I have a collection of works that I really plan to bring forward, with this group. So there'll be a lot of albums to come.
Awesome. So, not only will we be doing Symbols, but we'll probably do an Immerse Soul solo project. And then perhaps maybe a Jasco solo project, right?
Never know.
You never know.
Could go anywhere.
You never ever know.
Awesome. We have the Cymbals in the studio. Make sure to check them out Saturday night. Toad Tavern right there in Littleton, man. It's going to be bomb. Tell you what. And when you guys go to see Cymbals, it's just an amazing show. You could just, well, give us a little bit of a touch of it tonight here in the studio, which we're looking forward to.
Yeah.
And so do you guys got a little something? I see you guys have.
Sure thing.
We have a little something.
On the Freeza Block Show. Awesome stuff. Indeed, we have the Cymbals. And again, you guys can check them out at the Toad Tavern. Are you guys going to be playing with anybody, or is it just going to be featuring you guys?
There's 3 bands there.
3 bands.
Okay.
And
well, hey, no, if
and
you
I'm
guys have
sorry.
forgotten, that's not a big deal because, you know, hey, man, if we're going to see you, we're going to see them too. So
we're on at 9 on Saturday.
awesome, man. It's going to be great. Again, Toad Tavern. Where else are you going to be on Saturday checking these guys out? It is the Cymbals. Go ahead and tell us what song it is you're going to play, and then we'll let you just go
Well,
with it.
this tune is called Walk Beside Me. It's an original tune. And actually, it's one we wrote together. He wrote the music, and I wrote the melody and lyrics. Walk beside me in the dark. Don't you ever break my heart, 'cause I can't even imagine a life without you. Maybe I would walk out too. If you love me, let me know. I don't wanna walk alone. I'd rather you walk beside me than to walk all by myself. I don't want to walk by nobody else. If you love me, I prefer that you never speak these words. Oh, I'd rather you leave me guessing than to know I've lost you. Maybe you'd rather be guessing too. Walk beside me in the dark.
don't you ever break my heart, 'cause I can't even imagine a life without you. Maybe I would walk out too. No, I can't even imagine a life without you. Maybe I would walk out too.
Yes, indeed. It is the Symbols, Mersoul, and Jasco. Thank you guys so much, man. Great stuff. Amazing live stuff. And, man, you want to check more of that stuff out, go to the Toad Tavern Saturday night. It's going to be live, much louder, much more in your face. And
Thank you, Steve.
Hold on, I got to choke it down a little bit. You know, the blues always get you sometimes, especially when you, especially when you know, emotional, you know, love type of stuff. Let's talk about some of that. You know, how do you, how does that grab you sometimes when you're singing?
I think you just when you're a singer, you think about your greats, like the people that came before you, and like your influences, and how they felt those things, and it becomes part of your experience. And as you write songs, you express yourself, and you grow your vocabulary, your emotional vocabulary, by listening to people like Ella Fitzgerald and Dinah Washington and Amy Winehouse and Adele and people that are way long dead and from a long time ago.
But you could feel their spirit, right? When you could feel it. And
sometimes
I'm feeling what you're saying, you know, about, you know, bringing it on in. And Jasco, same for you. You know, when it comes to playing, I could see that, you know, you close the eyes and you go there, right?
Yeah, sometimes you're channeling other people, and sometimes you're just trying to tell the story of the song, and you're thinking about the song and what does that mean.
Yeah.
And you know, so it's when I'm playing my best, it's almost more like I'm listening and I'm not really too conscious of what I'm doing. And it's like a record that I can influence just through my thoughts. I can make it angrier or sadder or, you know, whatever. And I'm not thinking too much about my fingers. When I'm playing my worst, I'm thinking, okay, this is a C minor scale, and then blah, 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 blah.
You know, yeah.
You start thinking theory and kind of getting technical about it.
When you got
all
soul.
that BS is for practice and hopefully not for stage.
I think it's about having soul, really. It's how can you really be your most authentic self?
Yeah, and really feel it, you know, feel it deep down inside, you know, like what Muddy Waters, right? You got it in him. It's got to come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. It is the Symbols. It's Mersoul and Jasco. And Jasco, man, if you could give us kind of a little bit of a condensed history. Did you grow up, you know, in a family that was really influenced by music, or not at all, and that was just something that you wanted to do?
Well, my dad and uncle both played guitar, but I really wasn't too into it until about my teens. But then once I caught the fever, it was just like, that's all I wanted to do. I started skipping school to practice and just, you know, just play.
And then, you know, not really going to, you know, like in your later years, did you go to school and learn some, you know, techniques and theories, or did you
I took lessons. You know, I took lessons from everybody that I could. You know, I learned a lot from listening to records. When I grew up, the internet wasn't around. You couldn't just look up tabs for any song. So it was just like, if you wanted to play songs, a lot of times you just had to put the record on and listen to it over and over until you learned how to do it. I started off doing rock stuff of the era. Then when I was about 17, I got really into classical guitar and started doing, you know, that type of stuff. And then when I was in my early 20s, I got into blues and jazz stuff kind of by default. Like the bottom fell out of the rock market. And I was thinking, okay, I got these guitar skills. I still want to play. What should I do? And I saw this guy, Chris Duarte, play that just blew me away. And he was doing blues, but he had, all the fire and technique of a rock player. And he was also, telling me a lot about jazz when I talked to him between sets and so forth. So I got interested in that. And that's, when I first started really getting into blues stuff was early 20s.
Wow, that's kick ass. And then you just kind of kept going on with it, right? Blues styles. Did you have lots of different bands, or did you just do a lot of, sitting in with crews and stuff like that?
I did a lot of different bands until I was about 24. And then I got in a band called Blind Dog Smoking. And we were on the road for 12 years, like 220, 250 shows a year, just all over the States, a couple trips to Europe.
Wow. And
just drove and played and drove and played.
The groupies were just unbearable. Hey, we're gonna laugh about that one. I'm telling you what. Okay, man, it is the Freeza Block Show. That bell for the Symbols listeners that are listening and watching for the first time. That bell is for a hit or a shot. It doesn't necessarily have to be alcohol or weed, but just a little something to get you right on through the show. Something to wet your whistle and to enjoy yourself with. And when we make a great point. It is the Symbols. Make sure to check them out. Toad Tavern. They are going to be all over this summer, and I know you guys are really looking forward to playing a lot more shows, not just the Toad Tavern and what you guys are doing this coming up here, but I mean, you guys got it going on, right?
Yeah, all our shows are at thesymbols.net. Yeah,
make sure to check out that website and give them some love. And I know you liked what you heard so far, and I'm excited about that. Do you guys want to play another song off the CD, or you guys want to play another live one? Because I'll tell you what, it's been a while, where we've had, the folks just kind of stopping at the window right over here in front of the Belmar and giving everybody, you guys got some applause from outside, so that's pretty kick-ass, get some traction from just walkers by, man.
That happens everywhere we go.
Yes, indeed. I wouldn't doubt it a bit. Wouldn't doubt it. Hey, you know what? That's how I discovered you. We were just walking on by, and I'm like, these guys sound awesome. And of course, I'm one of those kind of guys that loves to break the half circle in front of the stage. So, me and my pals got right up front, and I was like, wow, we've blown away. It's pretty cool to do, when you go up to some of these shows to break the half circle. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you think about that half circle and how it affects you as an artist.
I think by half circle, you're talking about like what in theater is referred to as the fourth wall.
Yeah.
And the most fun I ever had in any production was when we would break the fourth wall. Because I started out in music theater, and there was a play where we interacted with the audience, and then I said, that's it, I'm not doing any more music theater, I'm going to become a musician, like for real.
Awesome. And when was that? Like in your early...
In my teens. In my teens.
Okay. And it came all from just being on the stage, huh?
Yeah, I've been I started being on the stage when I was like 3, because I was showing a lot of vocal talent at a really young age, and my mother saw it and said, what should I do? And somebody that was more experienced in music said, well, put her on the stage in some fashion. So
great stuff, man. Marisol with the Symbols, the musical styles, it sounded awesome, and I love your vocals, top quality all the way.
Thanks.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a Simon Cowell or anything like that, so but hey, anybody that
thank goodness
here,
yeah,
can hear it on their own. All right, I'm going to let you guys go ahead and play one more, and then I think I'll play another one from one of the CDs that you guys bought. So.
Sure thing. So this one's actually a cover tune, and this is what we do a lot of times is we'll take tunes that you may know and do them in a completely different style.
Awesome.
Let's see if you can spot this one.
Oops, let me put the mic down by the amp a little bit.
It's been a long time since I rock and rolled. It's been a long time since I did the stove. Let me get it back, let me get it back, let me get it time. It's been a long time since the book of love. I can't count the tears of a life with no love. Open your arms, open your arms, open your arms. Let my love come running in. It's been a long time, been a long time, been a long, lonely, 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 lonely time. Oh, yes, it has. Been so long since we walked in the moonlight, making vows that just don't work right. Open your arms, open your arms, open your arms. Let my love come running in. Oh, it's been a long time, been a long time, been a long, lonely, 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 lonely time. Oh, yes, it has. Yeah. Open your arms. Let my love come running in. I keep it cool, baby. It's alright, 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 alright. It's been a long time since the rock and roll. A long time since the rock and roll. Always been a long time.
Yes, indeed. It is the Symbols, Mirror Soul, Jasco. Great music, blues, fantastic stuff. We love it, and you guys really knocked it right on out of the park, man. People are just loving it. They walking by, giving you the thumbs up.
Thank you.
And it's all good, man. Indeed. Thanks again, you guys, for coming on in, driving all the way down from Fort Collins and stuff. Is that kind of a little bit of a pain in the ass, coming down from Fort Collins to do shows all the time, because
well, the drive's a pain, but once you get there, it's like fun. It's like heroin.
You'll drive all that way. Indeed.
Yeah, it can seem like a long drive, but then when you think of, oh well, we might be playing Memphis, in a month or whatever, then this doesn't seem like a long drive.
No.
Well, that will be a long drive. And is that how you guys do? Do you drive or do you take a plane? You never know.
Drive.
Right now we drive, but we'll take a plane if anyone wants.
When you're poor, you drive.
You guys go through that with that big sponsorship and the wheelbarrow full of cash, right?
Let them know, man.
It shouldn't be long. We have the Symbols. It's Marisol and Jasco. And we also wanted to give a shout out to the drummer, you guys' drummer. You guys always,
Nate Brown.
Yeah, let's give him some shouts out.
Shout out. Hey, Nate.
No doubt about it, man. And he'll be there at the Toe Tavern.
That's right.
That's correct.
Yeah, so you guys can see the full deal, man. And everybody wants to see that full deal. So it's gonna be bomb. Indeed. Tell us a little bit about your stage presence. When people come up there, I noticed you guys really kind of, you know, you don't just throw on whatever it is you throw on, you know, whatever's in the drawer. You guys actually, you know, kind of bring yourselves a little bit of a, I don't know, you dress up.
You gotta dress with a little bit of personality. You're going on stage and you're playing music, but it's also a show. And
Right.
my theory is, you know, like half the audience listens with their eyes anyway. So
If you're marketing yourself as Big Bird, then you got to show up in your Big Bird suit.
There you go. Yes, indeed. Awesome stuff. It is Mersol and Jasco. They are the Symbols. Check them out. Toad Tavern. You do not want to miss this show. It's going to be really, really good. Indeed, indeed. Wow, you guys. And, well, you know, we talked a little bit about your, you know, upbringing and stuff. So, and when you started playing music, it wasn't bass, was it? I mean, Mersol.
I started out as a singer when I was 2. I would correct my mother when she would sing Little Mermaid. I would change the key to the right key. I don't have perfect pitch anymore, but I used to. And I guess the piano was the second thing. And then I guess about 5 or 6 years ago, I started playing the bass. Picked it up pretty fast.
What, you know, tell us a little bit about, you know, the beginnings of trying to learn how to play the bass or learning how to play the bass, and a little bit about how much work it has been to get to where you are now.
The way I entered this band and the way this band kind of started was I was dating the bass player, and then we broke up, and then we had to go through a series of substitute bass players, and it was really hard to replace that dude because he was really good. And so then we were at band practice one day, you know, with one of these bass players, and he left his bass sitting somewhere, and he went, you know, to go eat lunch, and I picked up his bass and started playing it, and I was like, oh, these strings are fat, and I was like, let's do this. And I just had a fascination for a couple months, and then at Christmas, Jasco got me my own bass. It was my first bass that I owned, and it was a big surprise. And within 3 months, I learned the bass and fired the sub we had at the time, and
did you keep his
became a bass
too,
player.
by the way?
Yeah, I still have it. It's mine. It's mine.
Awesome stuff. It is the Symbols. They will be at Toad Tavern. They will be rocking it hard, by the way. It's going to be loud. It's going to be fun. So I'm excited about coming on down, man. Indeed. And, you know, a lot of this, you guys played a cover tune, which you said you did a lot of. Now, I have the CD, but I don't think I'm able to, you know, get some songs out there in time for it. But, let's push this one a little bit. Show the folks in the camera the CD and how you know, just kind of how you guys went about doing this one and what it's all about.
So that's kind of an elaborate booking demo. Because when you're booking a lot of clubs, they want to hear cover tunes and so forth. So it started off, okay, we need a booking demo. The other thing that happened was we change all our songs. We change a lot of them. So just like you heard, that Led Zeppelin song was very different than the original.
That was Led Zeppelin?
So we had to make copies of songs that we would give all the different drummers that we were using so they would know how to play the song. So it's okay, it's this song, but it's not like this, it's like this. So that's how that started off.
And then you guys just went ahead and just put it all together in a big package.
Right.
Boredom prevention. Rearrange the cover tunes to make them your own, and you won't be bored.
And it's good practice for your creativity too, because you want to do the same things with your own songs. You don't want to see them in one light. You want to see all the different possibilities they could be and try them a lot of different ways.
Yeah, that's and you know, sometimes I guess you can almost get tired of doing your own songs, right? Unless you're, you know, kind of like you said, jazzing it up or changing a little thing here or there and just keeping it fresh for yourselves, right?
Right, yeah.
Sure.
Songs are always evolving, whether it's our songs or someone else's.
Indeed. Hey, make sure to check these guys out. They are the Symbols, Mersol and Jasco in the studio with us, playing some live music and having a lot of fun. And again, Symbols, Symbols, not symbols with the C, Symbols with the S. And yes, indeed. Check them out, give them some love, and they've got a couple of CDs out there, and go ahead and give them some love and download them and share them with your friends, and then come and see the show. And then after that, pack up the camper and head out to Kansas City and check them out there too. Awesome stuff.
That's
Now,
right.
have you guys been doing a lot of outside of the box kind of stuff, or is this kind of like a little bit more of a new adventure starting it? Doing more regional stuff instead of just in the state.
We're always trying to get as many different places as we can. In the past year, we've been doing more outside the state things than the first few years.
Yeah, that's good though. I mean, and getting a lot of traction and all that stuff. It's really kick ass, man. Tell us a little bit about how you guys are able to, get a hold of big time production people and people that can, really, move you along in the industry, I guess.
I would say that our hard work and practice built our talent to a level that we got invited to play at places like festivals, like Blues from the Top, and through opportunities like that, we've been able to meet bigger artists than ourselves, like Danielle Nicole, and that puts us on the national market.
Yeah, and it's got to be a little bit of a rush, when you're out there performing for somebody who's on, I guess, a different level when it comes to popularity, because it's talent is one way or the other.
Well, it's just someone that's a little further in their journey, a little older, a little further.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta feel, awesome about it. Right?
Yeah. Hey, any band that's out there trying to do it is going to get various opportunities, and the thing that you got to do is just be ready to capitalize on them.
Yeah.
So when somebody sees you, you got to be on your A game. If you're playing a club and there's only 3 people there, you got to give it all you got, because one of those 3 people might be someone that books somewhere or produces a radio show or records records, or you never know. So
who it is, man, you really
yeah.
don't. But and on the other side, I mean, why wouldn't you put your all into it anyway? Even if you guys were in the basement playing with crickets, right? I mean, 4 crickets, excuse me. But you know what I'm saying? It's all from the heart.
It is, but there are times when it's hard to do that, because it might be a long gig. There might be, almost nobody there. The pay might be really low. Maybe the weather's bad, whatever. There's a lot of other circumstances when you're playing so many gigs. Not all of them is a great big crowd and a super showcase gig. A lot of them are workhorse gigs. Right. And so you start to say, oh man, this is work. And then you say, oh no, wait, okay, it's not work.
Well,
for us, right? There've been highs and lows, and the highs get higher, as it goes along. But it's like this, up, down, up, down.
Right. There's hills and there's valleys. Indeed. We have the Cymbals in the studio. If you want to check them out live, check them out at the Toad Tavern this Saturday right down there. They're going to be rocking Littleton, and it's going to be a really good show with drums and fireworks and sparkly dresses.
Cha-cha dancers.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, the Toad's always fun.
It is a fun time. I'm going to play another song here, and I guess, I don't know. I was going to have Jasco pick the song, and I think I still will, because what the hell.
Why don't we pick track number 1, Alone?
All right. This one is Alone. And you know what? And if you want to come to the Toad Tavern alone, come on down. Make sure
you might meet someone.
It is the Cymbals right here, MileHighUnderground.com, the Freeza Block Show.
Here I go on my own. You can hear my lips move, but see no tone. If you're going out that way, you're gonna miss me, babe. But you don't miss me when I'm here, alone with the ball and chain, darling. You made the afternoon when it was me and you. We walked in golden light. You were mine, you were mine, you were mine. You were my child. Ooh, yeah. I don't know if I should go, But when I'm with you, I feel alone. Cause you don't understand the way I love you. If I understood, then why would it be true? 'Cause you made the afternoon. It was me and you. We're one in golden light. You're mine, you're mine, you're mine. You are my child. We walked in the golden light. You're mine, you're mine, you're mine. You are my child. But you held my hand and I thought you'd understand, but now I go. Yes, I know that I'm so alone. Ooh, yeah. In a golden light, we walk, darling, together. 'Cause I'm so alone. Hey, 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 hey.
Symbols in the Freeza Block. It is Marisol, Jasco, and of course their drummer again. Well, let's go ahead and mention his name. He will be there at the Toe Tavern.
Nate Brown.
Nate Brown. And how did you guys, go about meeting him? And tell us a little bit about his journey with you guys as well.
We met him through a radio DJ in Fort Collins named Marla Stone. She was friends with him and friends with us and kind of put us together. All right. And we actually played some shows with him, I don't know, 4 years ago or so. And we've had another drummer for the past couple years, and he just departed to do some other things. So Nate has now been with us for about 3 weeks.
Wow.
And he's our main guy. He's going to do about 75% of our gigs in the upcoming year. He's playing in a couple other bands also. So there's a few things he's already committed to that will have subs, but that keeps it fun and interesting.
He has a mohawk.
So he'll be the guy, one
He's
of the
young.
guys with the mohawks. Indeed. Indeed. It is the Symbols. It is Marisol and Jasco. Ooh, excuse me. And they will be at the Toe Tavern on Saturday. So, hey, like I said, where else would you rather be? Come on out, rock it down in Littleton. It'll be really cool. Great music, great blues, and just really, really good times down there all the time at the Toe Tavern. Woo! All right, man. You guys got me a little bit. I don't know, man. I'm feeling pretty good though. That's all I'm saying, man. You guys play great, great music, and I hope that a lot of folks start figuring out, hey, let's go and check these guys out. It's good stuff, right?
We hope so too. Thank you so much for having us on the show.
Hey, no problem. We are gonna have you guys play one more out for us. And is there anything else that you guys wanted to just drop on the folks out there? We gave them the website. We'll give it to them again. Symbols. That's SYMBOLS. Symbols.net. So make sure you check that out. It'll take you right to their music and all that good stuff. They got tour dates up there. They've got merch and all that. You guys, doing a lot in the t-shirt game, or how we roll?
What kind of?
Yeah, we got t-shirts.
We talk financials.
We got.
I'm just talking about
Doing
what you got to
great.
offer.
We got t-shirts, women's panties, CDs.
Yeah, and the t-shirts are a riot, man. They have like this meditating Buddhist half-naked 60s lady on them, and they say the Symbols spiritual porn rock on them.
No doubt about it. Let's talk real quick. Spiritual porn rock, you got to throw that in there. But
well, if your spirit had some kind of catnip too, just like you, then it'd be spiritual porn rock, musically speaking.
And you get a lot more clicks on your website when you put the
Yeah.
word porn in your phrase.
you know what? I kind of thought there was something to that. But that's all right, man. That's what we do. And that's how we roll. Indeed, it is the Symbols, Marisol, Jasco. We'll definitely want to see these guys live. They're really super nice. Come up and say hi. Give them some love at the merch booth, man. They got stickers, T-shirts, and women's panties. I'm gonna get me a couple of those. I have no idea why, because
It makes a good hat.
can't really fit it
Eye patch.
so well. So, but it's what we do. I'm gonna let you guys play one more out for us, and then. I'll just, we'll be saying our goodbyes. And again, folks, make sure to check them out. Toad Tavern, the Symbols, Marisol, Jasco. Thank you guys so very, very much for coming in, man. I mean, it's, like the weather's not so great and the traffic's terrible, but you guys made it here. And and everybody else that's listening and watching.
Steve, you're such a nice dude. It was worth it. Thank you so much.
All right.
We're gonna go out with this song. It's called My Gold. And it's about my little 9-year-old daughter. Little drawings everywhere I turn. Little smiley girls in the smiling world. Every sunshine and every little song tells me you're happy even when I'm gone. Do you know how much I love you? Do you know how much I care? Do you know how much I need you? You are my gold. You are my gold. Every morning, driving you to school. You kick my seat, but I kinda think it's cool. The way you laugh when you think you're being bad. But you're the sweetest little angel that I have. Do you know how much I love you? Do you know how much I care? Do you know how much I need you? You are my gold. You are my gold. Yes, you are. Shout out to everyone on the street. How can I be mad? 'Cause you can't be that bad. Do you know how much I love you? How I love you. Do you know how much I care? Do you know how much I need you? You are my gold. You are my gold. Don't I love you? Do you know how much I love you? How I love you. Do you know how much I care? Do you with you. You are my gold. You are my gold. You are my gold.
Amazing stuff. It's the Symbol. They will be at Toad Tavern on Saturday night. Make sure to check it out. Get there early so you don't miss a note, and it will be a blast. There will be a couple other bands there too, so get your drink on. Come down, Toad Tavern. Check out the Symbols, 3 other great bands, and just have a blast, man. You guys, Marisol, Jasco, thank you so very much for coming on in. Like I said, battling the weather and the traffic and all that good stuff, and playing some great music for us. The folks out there on the street absolutely enjoyed every minute of it. I enjoyed every minute of it, and you almost made me cry. So
thank you, Stephen. Thank you
Thanks,
for being
Steve.
our host. You're awesome, and we love you.
well, all right, we love you too, and you guys stay there, smile, wave goodbye. We're gonna say goodbyes right here, and then we'll be out. So
Goodbye.
see you guys, and then make sure again, Toad Tavern, the Symbols, Saturday night.